Now the governor will be holding a press conference to provide more details about the Prugraman y Pinilan y Famaguan Guam, which translates to a program to watch over the children of Guam.
Now, Bree, this was, of course, a program established through an executive order last month providing funding for the island's various child care providers. It expands and strengthens local child care resources and supports families re-entering the island's workforce.
And the program will be administered by Public Health as well as the Guam Economic Development Authority. Joining us live in our Zoom room is GEDA Administrator Melanie Mendiola. Good afternoon, Melanie.
Hi, Mel.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you again for joining us. And I know the press conference is in about an hour. If you could just kind of briefly detail the program itself.
Sure. So as you had recalled, as you had mentioned, an executive order was issued to authorize funding to expand the child care industry. And so GEDA has been working very hard with public health to get these programs off the ground. So it's an expansion of our child care industry from many angles. It's not only, ultimately it will provide child care to more kids. So one thing that's interesting is that we have 43,000 kids under the age of 13, but only 6% of them are receiving child care services through some of our child care centers. And so what this is really meant to do is this is meant to expand this industry, and it's doing that through a number of ways. It's doing it through workforce development, through additional expanded assistance through the block grant, through support through employers, as well as through support to not only our daycares, but also our after-school providers, nonprofits, and organizations that provide services to our kids. And so it's going to be great. And most importantly, our relatives that also take part in the process. So it's a multi-pronged effort to address our child care needs. And we will be unrolling, unraveling this program, or unveiling this program, rather, I shouldn't say unraveling, unveiling over the course of the next few months. But the first piece of it is being unveiled today.
So what I'm hearing is that this program would be available to child care providers, not necessarily licensed child care providers, but it's expanded to other sort of groups, entities that provide child care.
Yes, most definitely. So it expands the definition of who might be eligible for assistance for those who provide child care. In addition, it's not only full-time care, so it's not just your daycares. It's also for your after-school programs, your summer camps, school programs, non-school programs. In addition, money for workforce development, so boot camps and apprenticeship programs to get more people working. So this is going to be it's a pretty expansive program. We're really happy that the governor has authorized it, and we're really grateful that the Department of Public Health, Social Services, and GEDA have been able to come together to put together something really, I think, meaningful for the people of Guam.
Now, Mel, broad is the scope of the number of people that this covers, and like you said, it's not just funding, it's also resources. There's actually been a dedicated group now created to oversee this and handle this. So can you talk about how this is being facilitated from an organizational standpoint?
Sure. So as I had mentioned earlier, only 6% of our daycare, I guess our quote-unquote daycare age kids under the age of 13 are receiving any kind of child care under the certified child care providers. And so we're really trying to expand this very quickly. And we're trying to utilize the federal monies that we have that are authorized through the next year or so. We do have some that, and so really what's happening is we're really just, it's really about the timing and about how quickly we'd like to get this program funding out to the community. And so what we're doing is between the Department of Public Health, Social Services, as well as GEDA, we're working together. We have a dedicated office, a dedicated website. We have people that are trained to deal only in this area, so that we can turn around people's ability to get assistance quickly. And so really it's about speed to receive the benefit, right? Because the child care block grant, assistance for your daycare, this has been something that's been happening, but this has been something ongoing for a number of years. But what we're really trying to do is expand childcare in a number of different ways, and for that we need support from a number of different angles. We need people visiting employers. We need work with the boot camps. We need work with childcare providers trying to get licensed. So there's just a number of different angles that we're trying to address in a very short amount of time. Hence the need for a dedicated office and the need for dedicated resources to this.
So did I read this correctly? There's $81 million in funding for this program?
Yes, there's $81 million in addition to the standing funding that's available to the Department of Public Health and Social Services for things like the Child Care Development Block Grant. So it's really something like, I want to say it's like $107 million more like, because there's a standing program in addition to the regular program. Now this is outside of the governor's pool of ARP funding. So the governor has her $600 million or so that was authorized for Guam. Child care, it was a separate authorization by Congress to shore up this industry. It really was meant as an economic, it was a means for economic stimulus in the United States insofar as getting people back to work. And so that's really what we're trying to do, is get people back to work, and in order to do so, to make it as easy as possible to attain affordable child care.
So again, the governor is expected, as well as several members of her cabinet, to detail this full program in about 52 minutes from now. But Mel, once the program is up and officially rolled out, when can people begin to submit their applications?
I think we will begin to accept applications now, but remember, it's a multi-pronged program, so there's different programs for different groups, right? So if you're, let's say, a nonprofit that is doing, if you're a nonprofit that's doing some programs for kids, there's going to be a program for you. That'll be rolled out a little bit later, probably in about a month's time. Today, what is going on is the expanded child care block grant qualification, and so that is going to be available immediately.
All right. So we know you've been working very, very hard, as well as your colleagues, on this for a long time. So Prugraman, Pinilan y Famaguan, Guahan. It's an amazing program, covers like a lot of stuff. And if you use that phrase in Wordle, you're going to be like really popular among like all your friends, because you're going to get a lot of points for that. So Mel, not making light of this at all, but congratulations to you and your colleagues ahead of time on finally standing this up. Because I know throughout the pandemic, Bree, and we covered this, childcare has been a issue that was long-standing, but you want everybody to know that that is a group, the people that provide the services as well as those directly affected by it, they are not left behind.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're really excited, and it's called Prugraman Pinilan for short. So.
Okay.
That'll still get you the triple word score, I'm sure.
Well, thank you so much.
It's a play on Pulan, right, which is moon, right? So sort of how like the moon watches over our island, so Pinilan to watch over our kids.
All right. Thanks, Melanie. We'll see you at 1 o'clock. We'll be streaming that press conference, of course, on KUM's Facebook page.
Drive safe, Mel.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be a really, really big one. Once again, that's going to be live at 1 p.m. Make sure to check out our Facebook page to stream that.